Okay, so these are the parts of the assembly. The very first part is the impeller we had beforehand. It's all busted up and shattered, you can see that. Those are the pieces we pulled out. And that's an important thing too. Right before you put in your new impeller, you're going to want to make sure to look for all of the little pieces you can, because they could be jammed up in the tubing. Then right beside it is the brand new one. It's a pretty little star. It's not disintegrated. And that's what we're going to be putting in. The important thing to note there is that on most shafts, there's two different types of shafts. There's a .438 size, and there's also a .456 size. And we have the .456, which is a little bit more common as far as I can tell by serial numbers. But make sure you figure out what shaft size you have before you start. If you want to guess .45 though. And then up here we have the actual housing itself. And beside that, that's the small O-ring that was on the top of the shaft. And then the one beside that is the seal, and the other two are just the nuts and bolts to put it all together. Over here, we've got the actual lower unit that I basically just stabbed into the ground. And so you can see what the inside looks like. This small sliver there is where it pumps up from the bottom. So you have the water line comes up here, goes along into the impeller. Open water comes in through that crack. It spins around in the silver, and then it'll shoot it up out of the top of this gray right here. So we're gonna put that together here in just a second. Okay, one other thing that was important that I didn't have out there originally is you can see in here, hopefully if it focuses, there's a key slot right there. This is the key. You don't want to lose this when you take it apart. It's really tiny. And we'll stick that in there so it's keyed on the shaft. Okay, we got it in the impeller in there. You can see it. I'll even spin it for you. That way, that's what happens to make it pump. One thing we did to help get it in there is we used a zip tie to crush down the exterior fins so they're already twisted in there, and then put it down, and you want to make sure it lines up with the keyway, and there you go. And now we just need to top off the rest of the stuff. Another thing that was really handy is I used one of these paint can openers to pull it up when I actually dismantled it. Okay, but now the rest of it just needs to go in piece by piece. One thing I just forgot previously is this metal guy right here. So this one goes on first. It sandwiches the impeller. Then you have the housing. It goes on top of that. After that, you've got the seal. Then you got the O-ring. It just goes right on top. And then your washers and nuts. That's it. Just needs tightened down and it's ready to go back into the power head.